Well, hey, welcome back to Harriet's Florida Kitchen. So today we have a kind of a special episode. We're making chocolate chip cookies. Now, this is also in honor, I will tell you about the chocolate chip cookies in a minute, but this is also a special episode because it is in honor of Christian Aid Week, which happens this year from the 9th to the 16th of May. And my church in London, All Hallows Barking by the Tower, is one of the participants in this. And so people do all kinds of things to raise money in honor of Christian Aid. And so they run, they do marathons, they do quizathons, they do all kinds of things. People all over the world are doing things for this week. And then the aim is to deal with the problems from climate change that are affecting particularly third world countries where they have water shortages, they have droughts, and they have floods. And so your contribution, which I'll tell you how to do in a minute, can help pay to build earth dams in places where they have terrible drought. So when it does rain, they have a way to hold on to the water, and they have a way for their village to drink water. So the way you do that, I'm not doing a marathon and I'm not doing a quizathon. I am doing chocolate chip cookies, which you can sponsor, you can pay for. I don't know how it works. Anyway, I just know that down below, let's see, if you're looking at me, I think it's on the right-hand side of your page. Is that right? It's down here anyway. There's a little arrow, and it's where you usually find the recipes. But in this case, you will also find a link that leads to All Hallows, which goes directly to Christian Aid. It's just via All Hallows in London. So I recommend that you do that. You may pay any amount, and who knows? I mean, it'll make all kinds of dams and provide all kinds of water where it's needed. Now, chocolate chip cookie recipe, and I think I should translate this into, I am bilingual, so I can do American and English. And so let's translate that into English. It is a chocolate chip biscuit for the British. And it's from, and I mean, it's an American recipe, and it came from one that Ruth Wakefield invented from Toll House chips in Connecticut. No, in Massachusetts, and she made it for her inn in the 30s. And that recipe is still the one that's on the back of the package, and it is still the most amazing ever. Now, I'm going to make it, I love nuts, but I don't think it's traditional really to have it with the nuts, so I don't usually do it with the nuts. And I'm also going to go sort of an extra step. I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to refrigerate the dough and then put it in the oven, because I have been discussing this with my water aerobics friends, and they all agree. They think that the refrigeration aspect of it is very important to make them extra good. So I will start on that, but that is what we're doing. So if you want to contribute to Christian Aid at All Hallows, you go to the link below. And if you just want the recipe, you go to the link below. And now we'll get started.
You preheat the oven at 375, and then you put in the dry ingredients of 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then with a fork, you can just basically mix that around until it's blended. You don't need to sift the flour. It'll be perfectly fine if you just sort of pour it in from the bag. Next, you put softened butter into the mixer. Now, I did not get my butter out in advance, but you take 2 sticks of butter, or basically a cup of butter, and you can pop it in the microwave for, say, 10 seconds. Do not let it melt. You really just want it to be ever so slightly softened. But the best thing is, of course, to just put it out a few hours in advance and then put it into the mixer. You want to mix it until it's creamy, and that'll mean stopping and starting it a few times, making sure you get it off the edges of the bowl, and then it'll get nice and creamy pretty quickly. Then you pour in the sugar. Now, I would recommend slowing it down ever so slightly, because you remember we've had some explosions in the past from me putting it in when it's a little fast, but not such a big problem with sugar because it's a little heavier than flour. So you put in the caster sugar, which is basically plain old granulated sugar, and then you put in dark brown sugar, which of course you've measured out in advance. So you have 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of packaged brown sugar, dark sugar. If you only have light brown sugar on hand, that would really be fine, but I happen to like dark sugar, so I put it in. Then you put in the vanilla extract, and you make sure that you get it off of the bottom you put it in, you pour it in, mix it all around, let it get creamy, and then stop it and start it a few times so that you can make sure that you get the vanilla off of the bottom, lift it up, scrape the sides, and then start it over again. Just basically you're blending it. There's nothing really fancy about this. Once you have all of that in, then you put in the 2 large eggs. Now, this is a little dangerous the way I'm showing it, because as you know, I think that you should put each egg into a little separate bowl to make sure that the eggs are fine. But I took a chance. Those are fresh eggs, they're new. So I just cracked them right into the bowl. Of course, I would have ruined the whole thing had one of the eggs not been good. Anyway, you crack those, put those in, and then you turn it up and make it, and again, just make sure you keep making it super creamy, scraping it off the sides, making sure you have it all in there. Okay, the last thing you do is put in your flour mixture, which you've already kind of forked and stirred together, but you don't have to sift, as I said. So you have the flour and the salt and the soda all going in together, and I put in just a little bit, a cupful at a time, and slow it down so that I do not have it fly all over the kitchen, as you have seen before in my chocolate cake episode. And so I put that in a little bit at a time, speed it up, slow it down, speed it up, slow it down. Make sure that I scrape it off the sides of the bowl so that it's all going in smoothly and creaming smoothly. And finally, you get to the point where you add the chocolate chips, the best part. And when you add the chocolate chips, make sure that you get them all in. I do mix them with with the mixer first, but then I like to kind of slow that down and only continue mixing them by hand. I don't know, in my mind, it's like they're going to melt or something. I don't think they really will, but all the same, something about sort of grinding them up too much seems like they might start to, I don't know, turn into a chocolate cookie instead of a chocolate chip cookie. So that's basically all you do. So you put it all together, you blend it all, and then you're ready to get them out and start plopping them on a pan. Now, in my first batch, I'm doing larger cookies. I'm kind of experimenting a little bit. You're supposed to put about a tablespoon or so on the pan, and you just glop them on, as you can see. And I put them on parchment so that they will not stick. And it's my favorite fabric of all time, especially for cooking. So I do a kind of a big glop because I wanted to see if there was really a difference in the crispiness or the softness of the cookies. And of course, I'm also experimenting by putting part of this in the refrigerator to see if there's a difference there. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference. Chocolate chip cookies are so foolproof. But at any rate, this is what you do. You just plop them onto the pan, and then we're going to put them in the oven.
Okay, as part of my experiment, I'm putting this into the refrigerator, my incredibly tidy refrigerator. I did a whole thing with the Container Store the other day. It's very exciting. This is going in here, and I'm going to let it chill and see if that is any better than the one that I have done straight out of the mixing bowl. We'll find out.
Okay, first bunch goes into the oven. Move the towel so that they do not catch on fire in the oven by hanging down there. This group goes in. It's at 375. I'm going to put it in for between 9 and 10 minutes. They'll look a teeny bit soft when they come out, but that'll be fine. And they should be done. I'm checking them at 9 minutes, but let's see how they look. I think they're going to be about perfect. And they are. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. They're browned around their edges just ever so slightly. Oh, they're going to be so good. And now they go onto a wire frame to cool.
Okay, the time has come to taste our cookies, and what a surprise! They're back. I have some unexpected tasters today. What could be better for tasting chocolate chip? That's right, Madeline Margot Dwight. All right, so here you go. Are your milks at the ready?
The B
milks at the
stars.
ready.
Obviously, the most popular.
That's yeah, I know.
They don't
Okay.
fit. No.
You don't put it in the cup. You don't have to put it in
if
the
you
cup.
want to.
If you want to,
you need to bite it to
If you're
make
going to try to
it
taste it, you sort of cut it in two and dip it in your milk. But I think this should be fine. So we're all tasting. Oh, here are. They're really good. Just like when Mrs. Wakefield made them. Okay, what do you think, Madeline?
Who's Wakefield?
Mrs. Wakefield is the one who invented them. How do you like it?
Good.
Good. That's it. Good. That's not adequate. Let's hear a fabulous. How is it?
Be
Fabulous.
Specific. Be specific.
Margot.
Amazing.
Amazing. That was good. That was good. Don't talk with your mouth full, but do say amazing. And Dwight, don't talk with your mouth full. How is it?
Breathtaking.
Thank you.
Good.
And you have it from the Three Horses mouth.
Wait.
One more. What? You have a comment?
Guys, sometime later on in this channel, we will reach 200 subscribers and 300. Please, make our goal possible. Please make Harriet Florida's Kitchen's goal possible. Subscribe now and tell all your friends that want to cook. Now.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
And wait.
Yeah.
Wait down the description.
What? Wait on the description?
Link down the description for the recipe.
The description is down below, which I've already told you. Okay, so we'll have another taste when we put in the cookies that have come out of the refrigerator.
Look forward to the Madeline's with Madeline video.
Thank you, Dwight.
As mentioned, last group, these are going to go in. These have been in the refrigerator, not for very long, and I am making slightly tinier. Things. These are only about, well, they're a little less than a tablespoon probably, because I want to see if they are crispier. And I put these in for 9 minutes, and they're the smaller ones. And so even taking them out at 9 minutes, I think they could use another minute. So those could I think all of these should go in for 10 minutes. I think that's the right thing to do. I'm going to say 9 to 10 because that's what the recipe says. But I think these are going to be fine if they're in for 10 minutes. They're just that much crispier. They're so good.
Look, my arm's broken.
Your arm is not broken. Okay, everybody gets one more cookie. These we first refrigerated them. Oh, you've already got one, Dwight. Okay, first we refrigerated them, and then we. Just eat or quit vamping for the. And I know, don't put it on your toilet paper roll, Margot. Please eat it. See how you like it. This is a little more chaotic than I had planned. All right, so how are they, y'all? Dwight, how is it? This one we put in the refrigerator before we cooked them. Margot, you can leave the scene now. All right, Dwight, how'd you like them? Good.
Awesome!
Okay.
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking again. Okay, Madeline, how were they?
Marvelous.
Huh?
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Okay, thank you very much. And there you have the tasting.
Oh,
It was what?
Wait.
I want to taste
Drop
it.
weight.
Hold it.
Drop a weight. Drop a weight.
It's real good. Really good.
Hey, you.
So
you.
easy,
Hey,
so fun to make. So popular with your
Wait.
constituents. Goodbye.
Wait,
Thank you for watching
wait.
Harriet's Florida Kitchen.
Wait.
And don't forget to sponsor Christian Aid Week. Push the button below and you can donate too.
Wait.
What, Dwight?
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Don't forget to drop a like down below.
Oh, that's the arrow below. Okay, thank you. Bye.